News from India. There's a company over there, the car company Tata. They've got a large car division, got a new car out. Here it is. It's the Jaguar XJ.
It's quite striking to look at. The interior is gorgeous as well. It looks fabulous. Look at that. It's going to cost from £50,000 to £90,000, depending upon the model. There's a direct injection V8, 2 new diesels with 271 and I think 237, 271
Come on,
brake
nobody
horsepower.
gives a pig's arse about all that diesel stuff. it's a new XJ. The important question is it a proper Jag?
Now, what you mean is this car slightly caddish? That's what you actually mean?
Yes.
Is the person who drives it a bit... Oh, what's the word? I'm not quite sure how to sum it up, but the sort of person who would go away for a weekend with his wife to a hotel, some romantic place, and spend the entire night flirting outrageously with a waitress, and it's okay because he's got a Jag.
That's a Jag driver. You can get away with anything. I'm terribly sorry, I ran over your dog. Oh, in my Jag.
Is it fair to say, do you think, that no Jag driver is ever entirely trustworthy, but it's in a really nice, likeable way?
Well, because if you went to a prison, forget the sort of stabbists and the skangies, the ones who are in there for a bit of tax dodging.
Yeah.
I bet 80% have got Jags. You know what I mean, don't you? Have you got a Jag? Who here's got a Jag? You've got a Jag? Look at him.
Yeah, he's a Jag driver.
He goes away with a sort of girl for the weekend and then goes, awfully sorry.
Bit of an issue with the
Would you
wallet.
mind awfully settling this while I go and warm up the Jag? You know what I mean? The thing is, I think that is just a brilliant, brilliant piece of design because it's a Jag, but it's kind of modern. That's absolutely fantastic-looking car. I can't wait to have a go in it. Now, if you don't mind, I want to talk about the BMW M5. You see, what we have here are 2 cars. One of them is a spacious, practical 4-door saloon. The other is a blistering, growling monster. For 24 years, this has been the ultimate sports saloon. But now, there is a new Jag. The new XFR doesn't look much like a blistering, growling monster. There are no bulges in its flanks. There are no scoops. There's no Cheshirishness at all. It looks like it might even be a diesel. It's the same story on the inside. Sitting in an M5 is like actually sitting in a laptop. It couldn't be more geeky, even if the sat-nav voice was Buffy. In the Jag, though, all I've got is a steering wheel and some pedals. It even has an automatic gearbox. Don't be fooled by the plain Jane simplicity, though, because the speed of this thing is simply unbelievable. Right, that is 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds, and look at it, 80, 90, 100, 110, 150. It's supposed to be limited to 155, but look, 165, and it's still accelerating. That's unbelievable. What's it limited by? If you don't stick to 155, I shall jolly well write to the Daily Telegraph about it. The key to this rampant savagery is an all-new, or Welsh, supercharged 5-litre V8 engine. There's no other word. It's fantastic. And there's more good news. At £60,000, the Jag is noticeably cheaper than an M5. It's also quieter. And it's way more comfortable. It is uncannily comfortable. It's so soft and so absorbent, it's like sitting on a fat dog. You can't really believe it'll go round a corner at all, leave alone like this. I'm doing that wearing brogues. To keep it planted, it has an electronic diff like you get on a Ferrari, and suspension that adjusts itself hundreds of times a second. You can be just inch perfect, even when you're driving like a complete lunatic. Oh, So easy. So, this is two cars as well. It's amazingly comfortable and quiet when you're not in the mood for fun and games, and it's savagely fast when you are. But can it really be as fast as an M5? Let's find out. Both cars produce as near as makes no difference 500 horsepower, and both weigh about the same. There are some differences, of course. He can rev to 8,000, I can only rev to 6.5. He's got 10 cylinders, I've only got 8. He's got 7 speeds in his gearbox, I've only got 6. But I have 80 more torques than him. 80! I've got so much torque, I could tear a hole in time! Yes, he's got better brakes, but coming out of the corner, I'm going to unleash my meteorite of torque, and here we go! This is getting hot, hard, and dangerous now. I need to stay cool. There's the aircon. I'm not for a moment going to suggest that this is better than an M5. But it's as good as. Praise doesn't get higher than that. Boot full of stolen videos.
It's all right. On the track, the Jag is as good as a BMW.
Nearly.
On the road?
Honestly, I think on the road it's better. But I'll tell you what we'll do now. We'll put some maths into the mix because we'll find out how fast it goes around our track. And that, of course, means handing it over to our tame racing driver. Some say he has 12 GCSEs, all in domestic science. And that he's been producing artificial sperm for years, even though we have repeatedly asked him not to. All we know is he's called the Stag. And he's off! 503 Welsh horsepowers, charging him down to the first corner. This is still a 2-ton car, so let's see how it battles the laws of physics here. Looking nice so far, and a lovely little slide on the way out. The sound of bits there being served in a stomach lining. Chicago, there goes the tail again. This thing really is a leathery drift machine as he comes into the hammerhead. Now the Jag's clever diff runs in open mode when you don't need limited slip. But as we see, that doesn't totally eliminate understeer. Fortunately, Stig does with a boot full of supercharged goodness. Terrible smell of oats all of a sudden. Okay, there he is through the follow-through. Punishing its tyres, but hanging on well, and that was fast. Here we go, second to last corner. More oversteer and up to Gambon. Wonder what'll happen here. Yep, there goes the tail again, and across the line. Now, here we are, look. BMW M5 126.2. Now, I expected the Jag to be a little bit slower than that. And it was. Unfortunately, just half a second in it. But look at it this way. If you have an XFR, do you know, I've lost my wallet. You never have to pay for anything.